Shadow of Blackthorn Hollow, Medieval Serial Killer Saga. Welcome, dear listeners, to a tale of terror that has haunted the small, mist-shrouded town of Blackthorn Hollow in Northern Ireland for centuries. This is not just a story of a serial killer, but of a malevolent force that wears many faces, each more grotesque than the last. A being who thrives on fear, who leaves behind a trail of blood in macabre rituals, and who, to this day, remains at large. Gather close, for this is the story of the Shadow of Blackthorn Hollow. The arrival of the Shadow. The year is 1487, and Blackthorn Hollow is a quiet, isolated village, nestled deep within the dense forests of Northern Ireland. The townsfolk are simple people, living off the land and bound by tradition. But their peace is shattered one fateful autumn evening when the body of a local farmer is discovered in the woods. His throat is slit, his eyes gouged out, and his body arranged in a grotesque, ritualistic pose, arms outstretched, forming a crude cross. Carved into his chest are the words, "The Shadow walks." The town is thrown into panic. The local constable, a grizzled veteran named Eamon O'Connor, assembles a small team of officers to investigate. Among them are Seamus Flynn, a young and ambitious constable with a sharp mind; Maeve O'Donnell, the town's only female officer, known for her intuition and bravery; Father Patrick, the village priest, who joins the team to provide spiritual guidance. As they examine the crime scene, they notice something chilling. The killer has left behind a small, hand-carved figurine of a crow, its wings spread wide. It's the first of many macabre signatures, the Shadow's masks. The killings continue, each more horrifying than the last. A baker is found strung up in his own shop, his body covered in flour and his mouth sewn shut. A young woman is discovered in the town square, her body posed as if dancing, with a crown of thorns upon her head. Each victim bears the same chilling message: the Shadow walks. But what terrifies the townsfolk most is the killer's ability to appear as different people. Witnesses describe a tall, gaunt figure dressed in bizarre, ever-changing disguises: a tattered jester's costume, a priest's robe stained with blood, a plague doctor's mask with hollow, soulless eyes. The Shadow seems to revel in the terror he creates, taunting the townsfolk with his unpredictability. Eamon and his team work tirelessly to piece together the clues. They discover that the crow figurines are carved from a rare type of wood found only in the nearby Blackthorn forest. They also uncover an old legend about a vengeful spirit said to haunt the forest, a spirit that takes on different forms to lure its victims to their doom. The ritual. The team's investigation leads them to an abandoned chapel deep within the forest. Inside, they find a chilling sight. The walls are covered in strange symbols, and the altar is stained with dried blood. At the center of the room lies a large circular pattern etched into the floor, surrounded by candles and more of the crow figurines. Father Patrick recognizes the symbols as part of an ancient pagan ritual, one that involves sacrificing victims to summon a powerful entity. The team realizes that the Shadow is not just a man, but someone or something driven by a dark, otherworldly purpose. As they search the chapel, they hear a faint whisper: "The Shadow walks." They turn to see a figure standing in the doorway, dressed in a grotesque patchwork of animal skins and human hair. Before they can react, the figure vanishes into the darkness. The chase. The team returns to the village, determined to stop the Shadow before he claims another victim. But the killer is always one step ahead. That night, the town's blacksmith is found dead, his body fused to his anvil in a twisted mockery of his craft. The Shadow's message is clear: you cannot stop me. Eamon and his team set a trap, using themselves as bait. They wait in the town square, armed and ready. As the clock strikes midnight, the Shadow appears, this time dressed as a harlequin, his face painted in a grotesque smile. A fierce battle ensues, but the Shadow proves to be unnaturally strong and agile. He escapes, leaving behind only a single crow figurine and a chilling laugh that echoes through the night. The Shadow's legacy. The story ends with the team standing in the town square, defeated but not broken. The Shadow remains at large, his true identity and motives still a mystery. Eamon vows to continue the hunt, no matter how long it takes. As the day dawns, we see the town of Blackthorn Hollow shrouded in mist, statues of ravens scattered throughout the streets. The narrator's voice returns. The shadow of Blackthorn Hollow has never been captured. To this day, the townspeople speak of it in hushed tones, warning their children to stay indoors after dark. And though centuries have passed, the legend of the shadow endures, a reminder that some evils never truly go away, merely waiting in the darkness for their next victim. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of darkness. If you enjoyed this tale of terror, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling stories from the annals of history. And remember, dear listeners, when the mist rolls in and the crows begin to caw, the shadow walks.